Ya eko avarno bahudha shakti yogat varnananekan nitartho dadhati vichaiti chante vishwamadau sadevaham sona vidya shubhaya sangyunaktu tvam stri tvam pumanasi tam kumarau tova kumari tam jinna danjena vanchasi tvam chato bhavasi vishwato mukhaha. From the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. He, the one and undifferentiated, who by the manifold application of his powers produces in the beginning different objects for a hidden purpose, and in the end withdraws the universe into himself, is indeed the self-luminous Brahman. May he endow us with clear intellect. Thou art woman, thou art man, thou youth and maiden too. Thou, as an old man tottering along on a staff, it is thou alone who, when born, assumest diverse forms. Om Shanti, 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 peace, 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 Benjol. This morning our subject is See God with Open Eyes. It is an interesting subject. I recently worked on a book on this subject, See God with Open Eyes, Meditation on Ramakrishna. We see this world through the five senses. How do you get knowledge? Through the eyes we see, through the ears we hear, through the nose we smell, through the tongue we taste, and through the skin we touch. These are the five organs of knowledge which help us to get knowledge of the outside world within. But through meditation we develop the sixth sense. At that time we see the world in a different way. That I am going to explain to you today. It is a very interesting topic of Vedanta. There is a small book called Drig Drishya Viveka, Inquiry of the Seer and the Seen. Who sees in this human system? Who is the seer? Drupam Drishyam, Lochanam Drik, Tadrishyam Driktu Manasam, Drishya Dhivrittaya, Shakshi, Drigeva, Natu Drishyati. This one verse explains that what is going on in this human system. The forms we see around, that is drishya, seen. Who sees? Eyes. Eyes are the seer. We see everything through the eyes. Again, the eyes become the seen, and the mind becomes the seer. Suppose your eyes are open, you are thinking something else. I am in front of you, you cannot see me. We know it. So, actually eyes are not, though we see everything through the eyes, but if the eyes are not connected with the mind, we cannot see. Very interesting. Again, we observe the dhivrittaya. Over the mind we see various thought waves. They are the seen, all the modifications of the mind. Who is the seer? Sakshi, Chaitanya. The witness consciousness is seeing. But who is the seer of the witness consciousness? None. There you stop. So, these objects, the seen, the phenomenal universe which we see through the eyes are seen by the mind, and mind is seen by the Atman, the indwelling consciousness. That Atman, She Mohimni, it stands on its own glory. It lights everything, but nobody can light it. The sun shines, and there is a beautiful verse. There the sun shines not the moon, not the stars. What to speak of this mortal fire? When it shines, everything shines after it. So all light, consciousness, knowledge comes from this Atman. Again, Vedanta asks this question, what do you see? We see variety, multiplicity, diversity. We see trees, plants, beasts, birds, ocean, mountain, we see cars, buildings, we see so many things. Vedanta says, you see variety, multiplicity, diversity, correct? Yes. That is not right. If you see two moons, if you see two suns, if you see two cars are coming towards you when you are driving, what does it mean? It means big problem. This dual vision, double vision can create a hazard. That means you have glaucoma or some defects of your eyes. That is right. Otherwise, the double vision can create problem. That is a disease. Vedanta says, you see variety, multiplicity, diversity, that means you have a disease. What is the name of that disease? Ignorance. Very interesting subject. Ignorance. Dual vision. When the mind becomes mindless, we see everything through the mind. How do you see this world? In the waking state, you perceive the world through the senses. In dream state, you perceive the world through the mind. In dreamless sleep state, you see nothing. In deep sleep, Sushupti knows your mind is gone. Your mind merges into cosmic ignorance. Again, when you come back in the morning after your sleep, again this world appears in the mind. So this whole world is in the mind. But if you see one, Ekotva Darshan, that is the true vision. There is another beautiful line of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Mrittu samrittu mapnoti jaya nana eva vaishyati. That person will encounter death after death, death after death. He who sees variety, multiplicity, diversity. That means you are still in the domain of ignorance. That means you will have to be born again and again, again and again. We want to see that one, Brahman, God. When you have that vision of God, you will see God, nothing else. You will see God in everything, in every being. That is our goal. And that is our topic today. And when you have this unity of knowledge, Vedanta says, Tatona bijugupsati. You cannot hate anybody. Whom will you hate? Everybody is God. God does not hate. You will not be any subject to grief or delusion. You will get perfect vision when you see God in everything, in every being. That is our goal. That we are going to talk. Next question arises, does God have a form? Or can we see God as we see other objects and beings in this world? Can we hear or touch God? Ramakrishna answered these questions. Apart from the mystics and illumined souls, people doubt the existence of God and think that it is impossible to see God with open eyes. The doubters' misgivings will be dispelled only if they practice spiritual disciplines according to the guidance of an illumined soul. Doubt is a disease. It comes from ignorance. Doubt is a terrible thing. In a family, if husband and wife, they doubt each other, and they will live in hell. Doubt. When you have the true knowledge, doubt will never appear in your mind whether God exists or not. You can see God. Swami Vivekananda, you did not believe God with form. He used to tell Sri Ramakrishna, sir, all of your visions you see are nothing but hallucination. Sri Ramakrishna says, what do you mean? Mother talks to me, I touch mother, I see him, and I talk to her, I see her, I talk to her, and you see it is hallucination. I don't accept your words. It is my experience. That is the most important thing, you know. Anyhow, the Judeo-Christian and Islamic tradition believe God has no form, but God has qualities. He is omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. He is all-merciful, all-powerful, all-kind, full of kindness. That is the way the Christian people think about God, but no form. When we read the Exodus chapter of the Bible, Old Testament, you will find Moses was continuously communicating, talking to God. God is asking him, do this, do that. Moses heard the voice of God from the burning bush. He went to the top of the Mount Sinai and got the 10 Commandments. And God was asking how to get rid of, how to depart from Egypt. God is talking to him. When we read the life of Saint Teresa, she saw God, she talked to God. God means Christ. Another thing, please remember, if you see the Son of God, you have seen God. Christ said, he who has seen me has seen the Father. I and my Father are one. So if you see Avatar, the God in human form, you are seeing God. There is a beautiful Sufi story. A Sufi master wanted to test the spiritual progress of his students. He gave one chicken to each one of them and a knife and told them that you slash the head of the chicken in a secluded place where nobody can see. So all disciples took their chickens and left, and they came back with the chicken and their heads. But one disciple did not return. In the evening, that disciple came with a live chicken and this knife in hand. What is the matter? Well, I did not find any secluded place to slash the head of this chicken. I saw God. God was watching all the time. Then the teacher said, you are my true disciple. After resurrection, Christ appeared before his disciples. They saw him, they touched him, they talked to him. Similarly, when Ramakrishna was cremated, that same evening, Holy Mother, his wife, was removing the bangles from her hand, according to Hindu custom. Sri Ramakrishna appeared before her and said, "What are you doing? Am I dead? I have just gone from one room to the other. I am not dead." Swami Vivekananda wrote in the rule book of Belur Monastery, "The Lord has not yet given up the Ramakrishna form. Some see him in that form even now and receive instructions from him, and all can see him if they so desire." Somebody asked Brahmananda, "Do you see God? Do you see the Master?" Yes, Swamiji saw the Master many times. We also see him from time to time. These people are great mystics. Vedanta scriptures emphatically described how to see God. Shvetashwara Upanishad says, "His form is not an object of vision. No one beholds him with the eyes. They who, through pure intellect and the knowledge of unity based upon reflection, realize him as abiding in the heart, become immortal." The Munjaka Upanishad says, "Brahman is not grasped by the eye, nor by his speech, nor by any other senses, nor by penance or good works. A man becomes pure through serenity of intellect. Thereupon, in meditation, he beholds him who is without parts." Please show me what does it mean? Do you know what does it mean? It means these are the sense organs. These eyes are not enough to see which is transcendent. As I said in the very beginning, through meditation you will have to develop spiritual eye, third eye, mental eye, spiritual eye. In the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna wanted to see the cosmic form of Krishna, Krishna said, "I shall show you, but listen. With these eyes of yours you cannot see me. I give you a divine eye. Behold, now by sovereign yoga power." These statements from the scriptures tell us that we cannot see Brahman or God with human eyes. We need divine eyes or spiritual eyes. Divine eye, spiritual eye. How can we develop divine eye? You know, scientists, astronomers, they see different planets through telescope. We do not see those with these mortal eyes. Behind, thousands of miles away, they can see, which we cannot see. At the airport, from the control tower, they see plane 500 miles away. How? They have radar. Through radar they can see, which ordinary eyes cannot see. If you go to a lab, these people, they experiment what is in your blood and all those things, they analyze through microscope, which these eyes cannot see, but through telescope, through microscope, they can see. Then they will give you the report, these are the tests of your blood. We believe that because it is a scientific truth. Similarly, meditation is a scientific truth. It can help you to see God which is unseen. Those things are unseen, but the science can help you to see. Same way. In the Guru Gita we find a mantra that Guru opens the eye when you have cataract. You cannot blood vision, you cannot see properly. You go to a surgeon, you will remove the cataract, you have a clear vision. In the same way, the Guru cuts the collyrium, which is the word, collyrium rod of knowledge. Ajnana timirandhaisya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam jena tasmai shri gurave namah. Jnananjana shalakaya, the collyrium rod of knowledge, he cuts the layer of ignorance so that you can see God. So, he can be seen. On 24th August 1882, M., the recorder of the Gospel of Ramakrishna, asked him, when one sees God, does one see him with these eyes? Very clear question. And Ramakrishna gave a very clear answer. God cannot be seen with these physical eyes. In the course of spiritual discipline, one gets a premier sharir, love body, endowed with premier chakshu, love eyes, premier karna, love ears, and so on. One sees God with those love eyes. One hears the voice of God with those love ears. Let me give an example. Here is a plate, glass plate, clean, nothing is there. But if you put an emulsion, say silver nitrate, and it becomes a negative. And I can take you a picture, and the impression will be there. That layer, that emulsion of silver nitrate will hold the impression of a person's face or body. And with that negative, you can print any number of photographs. So through spiritual meditation, you will develop a layer of devotion, love on your mind. Then you can see. Empty glass you cannot see. Plain mind will not do. But you will have to put an emulsion. Through practice of spiritual discipline, day after day, you will find a layer of coating is there, then you can get the impression of God. At that time, close your eyes, open your eyes, you will see God. That is the secret. But this is not possible without intense love of God. One sees nothing but God everywhere when one loves Him with great intensity. It is like a person with jaundice who sees everything yellow. Then one feels, I am very lean. If you have jaundice, you will see everything yellow. So, when you have this kind of love, you will see God. On another occasion, Ramakrishna said, one cannot see God if one has even the slightest trace of worldliness. Matchsticks, if damp, won't strike fire, though you rub 1,000 of them against the matchbox. You only waste a heap of sticks. The mind soaked in worldliness is such a damp matchstick. Once Sri Radha said to her friends that she saw Krishna everywhere, both within and without. The friends answered, why we don't see him at all? Are you delirious? Radha said, friends, paint your eyes with the collyrium of divine love, and then you will see him. Another question. Sometimes when we meditate with closed eyes. Ramakrishna raised these things. When I went to the Brahmo Samaj, I saw the Brahmo devotees are meditating with closed eyes. Then I thought, does God exist only when I think of Him with my eyes closed? Doesn't He exist when I look around with my open eyes? Now when I look around with my open eyes, I see that God dwells in all beings. He is the indwelling spirit of all, men, animals and other living beings, trees and plants, sun and moon, land and water. Krishna darshaner par Krishna darshan. Once if you see God, you will see God in every being, everything. Sarvabhutya Brahma Darshan. That is the goal of Vedanta philosophy, seeing God in every being. Then you will be free. You will be illumined. You will be liberated forever. Somebody was asking, I see some tiger, lion, some bad people. Are they gods? They are. But Sri Ramakrishna says you must have a strong common sense. When there is a tiger god, lion god, salute them from a distance. Please go, don't come near me. If bad people comes, salute from a distance. Please go. This world is a mixture of good and evil. You cannot think of things of God, this world, everything is good or everything is bad. I sometimes give this illustration. When you make a photograph, what does it mean? If all white, it will not make a photograph. If all black, it will not make a photograph. We need black and white. That is the way all the photography, is possible. So this world is a mixture of good and evil. So watch your mind. You have some good tendencies, you have some bad tendencies. That is the way this world can function. Sri Ramakrishna gave a beautiful illustration. If the 100% pure gold, you cannot make any jewelry. Why? Gold is very soft. You will have to add alloy. And then the gold becomes strong, then you can make necklace, bracelet, ring, all these things. Only 100% pure will not work in this world because it is a relative world. Very interesting, this is Vedanta philosophy. Sri Ramakrishna tested that is visions of the God in everything, whether it is true or false. He went to pick flowers from the garden. He saw those trees are conscious. He could not pick up the bare leaves because the tree was bleeding. He felt consciousness in everything, even puja vessels. So when Swamiji said, sir, all those things are hallucinations, he wanted to test. There is a big piece of rock was in front of the Nahabat, the concert tower. So Sri Ramakrishna addressed that rock, Mother, if my visions are true, let this rock move thrice. Immediately the rock moved thrice. Sri Ramakrishna was just like a great scientist, wanted to test everything. He always encouraged his devotees to see God with open eyes, as he perceives everything and every being. If anyone would meditate or close eyes while repeating the mantra inside the Kali temple, Sri Ramakrishna would tell him, what are you doing? You are seated here in front of the living mother. Look at her to your heart's content. Practice those spiritual disciplines elsewhere, where you cannot get this direct experience. Suppose you have gone home to visit your mother. Would you sit before her with closed eyes and repeat her name? That impressed me, I tell you frankly. Do you know what impressed me most is that thing? When you go to home, suppose your mother lives in California or New York, and what do? You go, Mother, you please sit down in front of me, let me close my eyes and repeat, Ma, 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 Mother, Mother, Mother. Then you are stupid. When you see your mother, everything stops. Everything will stop. It is extremely important, that how we see God. Vedanta teaches each human body is the tabernacle of God, and God dwells in all of them. Living gods, why do you search God here and there? Love them, serve them. Somebody asked Vivekananda, how can I see God? He said, if you really want to see God, go to the huts of the poor people. And if you really want to attain God, serve them. That impressed me. See God, all these living beings, love them and serve them. Then do you know what will happen? Your outlook of life, your attitude will change. The book I was talking about to you, it has 17 or 18 chapters. How can we explore God? First, you can explore through the form, divine form. Second, qualities, guna, all qualities of God, divine qualities. Purity, renunciation, etc. Third, you can explore through the mind, divine mind, how it functions. I remember in that article I wrote, I showed 28 kinds of mind of Sri Ramakrishna. Not one kind, 28 kinds of mind. Third, you can explore through his Leela, divine play. You can explore that his service to the people, divine beings. You know, we do not believe in God. Many people, most of the people say that we do not believe in God. Without God's grace, you cannot survive in this world. Who makes water? Who makes air? Think of these two basic things. If you do not drink, you will die. If you do not breathe, you will die. The President of the United States does not bring water or air. He may be a very powerful person. Who makes these things? Inquire about it. This creation, this water, this air. The Upanishad says that. Kohe Bannat ka prannat jadishva akasha ananda nasyat. Who could inhale, who could exhale, if there is that Brahman, that consciousness behind it? It is amazing. If you do not breathe 5 minutes, you will die. 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, a person will die. Just think of that. And we think, oh, God does not exist. Leela. God's play, divine play. Somebody asked him, what was unique about the advent of Sri Ramakrishna? He replied, the Master came to prove that God exists. He realized God in many ways, with form and without form. He also made it possible for his intimate disciples to experience God. If those who have never met Ram the Master focus their thoughts on him, he will graciously appear to them. He told his disciples, those who think of me inherit my treasures, as children inherit their parents' wealth. The Master's riches include knowledge, devotion, discrimination, renunciation, love, peace, samadhi, and so on. That is a beautiful statement. যে যা চিন্তা করে সে তার সত্তা পায়, পিতার ঐশ্বর্য পুত্রে পায়। The more you think of God, the godly qualities will enter inside you. Second, when your parents die, who gets the property? You. Because you inherit it. Similarly, the more you think of a God, and if you think God as your father, mother, all their treasures will come to you. Very common sense answer. God is truly a mystery to us because He is hidden. The world is God's playground and we are God's playmates. He loves to play hide and seek game with us. Christ said, ask and ye shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. We'll have to knock. We'll have to learn how to knock the door of God. Please do open the gate for us. That means longing, yearning, hunger for God, sincerity. That is the only thing needful in a spiritual life. If you are hungry, you will find out food. Similarly, if you really have genuine desire, hunger for God, you will find Him. I remember our Vedanta teacher gave an illustration. Mumukshu. If your body, if your clothes are caught fire, what do? You jump into the swimming pool or you go and put water on your body. You do not lie down at that time. Similarly, the moment you have that hunger for God, you rush towards God. That hunger. That is the only thing needful in a spiritual life. You are hungry, you will find Him. There was a Baul mystic. Rabindranath Tagore asked him, you have a great message. Why don't you come and teach human beings? The mystic said, I will not have to go to them, they will come to me. How do you know? Well, if you are hungry, if you are thirsty, you go to find out water. So these people are not hungry or thirsty. So I will not have to go and say, please drink water, take food. It will not work. Truly speaking, as Christ said, first seek the kingdom of heaven. You will have to seek. Vivekananda's famous line, do not seek God, see Him. That he taught the American devotees in Thousand Island Park. See Him. Learn how to meditate, how to commune with God. One of the irony of human life, that all the time we are carrying God in our hearts, we don't know Him. Because we have never tried to connect ourselves with Him. That Vedanta teaches. Learn how to meditate, how to practice spiritual disciplines. Human beings, even those with money and power, are helpless. We realize that peace and bliss cannot be bought in the market. The merciful Lord responds when His children sincerely and wholeheartedly call for help. It is meditation that connects us with God and makes our lives peaceful and blissful. Ramakrishna answered about meditation. How should we meditate? Where should we meditate? On whom should we meditate? When should we meditate? What shall we achieve from meditation? How do we meditate? We meditate through the minds. Mind is also of two kinds, pure, impure. The impure, pure minds will show you God within. Impure minds will divert toward the worldly objects. I sometimes give this illustration. How do you clean your dirty clothes? You put in a washing machine, you turn on the water, and then you put the detergent, bas. It automatically rotates, and then all the dirt goes away, water goes away, detergent goes away, and you get clean clothes. So meditation churns the mind and removes the impurities of the mind. Christ says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. That purity of heart is the most important thing. The primary result of meditation is God realization. The secondary result is attainment of peace and joy of mind. God is so near to us, but we do not see. It was in 1900, in Pasadena, California, Swami Vivekananda was talking to a teenage American boy, Ralph. Swamiji says, Ralph, God is so near to us, but we cannot see. Why, Swamiji? How do you see? Swami, I see through my eyes. Can you see your own eyes? That young American boy was thinking, oh no, Swami, but I can see my eyes in a mirror. In a mirror, I can see my eyes. Ralph, that is the answer. You see everything through your eyes, but you cannot see your own eyes. You need a mirror, correct? Yes. That mirror is the pure mind. If the mind is pure, you can see God. I remember I used to play aqua ball in Chubuko Monastery. We had 20,000 gallons of water in a tank. You will have to keep it all the time, because if there is a fire, the firefighters will pump water from there. It is 300 acres. You can save your monastery. So it was clean water. We used to play aqua ball there. But one monk, first time, sometimes I saw the water was dirty. Then they put chlorine and all those things and the cleaner. It is so clean. You can see even that 10 feet deep, you can see clear. Everything you can see at the bottom. Similarly, when your mind is pure, you can see in the inner recesses where the Atman dwells. You can penetrate through the various layers of the mind. Next is imagination. When you meditate, it is good to have some kind of imagination. Imagination becomes realization. How? Imagination becomes realization. I shall tell you two stories. In 1885, the Washington Monument was dedicated in Washington, D.C. At 550 feet high. This was the tallest monument in the world at that time. The architect, Robert Mills, 1781 to 1855, designed it in 1836. Construction began in 1848, but stopped in 1854 due to lack of funds. Work resumed in 1879, and the monument was completed in 1885, 30 years after the death of its architect. Finally, Mill's imagination became reality. It is in American history. It is not my imagination. It is in American history that person's imagination brought that Washington Monument. I went there, I remember once at midnight, 12 o'clock. I went on the top and saw the whole Washington DC. Many tourists go there. Then another story I remember, I was very close to John Hens, who was the vice president of Disneyland and the right hand of Walt Disney. He told me Walt went to London in England and he found there are many old castles and those people are tearing them down. So Walt said, you know, these castles might have some ghosts and spirits live there. They will be homeless. Please build another castle for them so that they can stay. They can live. And if you don't make any new castle for them, I shall take all of them to my Disneyland. And then it came that haunted mansion. But those who have seen in Los Angeles Disneyland in Anaheim, the moment you go inside, the whole thing will go down. And then you will hear a voice. This is the room, has no door, no windows. There are 999 spirits live here. We don't mind if we get one more. Then the door will open and then you sit on the cars, you will come and then you go. And then you will see the ghosts are singing and dancing and reading the Bible. They are all British ghosts. Settled in America in Disneyland. Amazing. All British ghosts in America. So this person's imagination, Walt Disney's imagination in England, brought in the theme, that amusement park, that beautiful theme of haunted mansion. I'm just telling you how imagination works. Meditation is not mere imagination. It is a science of calming the mind and attaining spiritual enlightenment. Various teachers worldwide have developed methods to still the restless mind. Equanimity of the mind is called yoga. Sometimes people complain, Swami, mind is restless. It is an universal question. Don't think you suffer from that. Everybody suffers. It is an universal question, universal disease, universal problem. And it has a beautiful answer. Patanjali, the father of yoga psychology, said, Abhyasa vairagyabhyam tanirudha. Through repetition of practice and non-attachment, you can stop the restlessness of the mind. Krishna also mentioned in the Gita, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grijyati. Listen, Arjuna, through repetition of practice and through renunciation, one can stop the thought waves of the mind. So these are the ways. When people complain, I sometimes tell them, suppose you are meditating for 1 hour, 60 minutes. Take it for granted, 59 minutes you will fail. 1 minute you will be able to concentrate on God. Now the question arises, what will happen that 1 minute? Then I put similar example. I put 60 particles of sugar, big particles. 59 I take away and 1 particle I put on your tongue. And if I ask you, tell me, how does it taste? You will tell me sugar tastes sweet. But you have taken only 1 particle. That 1 particle of sugar will give you knowledge of the sweetness of the sugar. Similarly, if you can hold your mind 1 minute, that experience will stay. Another example. You are trying to break a piece of rock. 59 times you hit the rock, it did not break. And on the 60th stroke, it broke. Now the question arises, are these 59 strokes meaningless or not? No. But through hitting 59 times, you got the success. So never get disappointed or depressed when you cannot concentrate. Think about this. Think of this example. It will help you. Thus our spiritual journey proceeds through failures and success. Without a struggle, there is no chance of victory. Meditation helps. In addition to calming the mind, meditation can help improve mental health. Nowadays, mental health is a big issue in the West, especially in the United States, where 1 among 5 adults suffers from some kind of mental illness. Along with medication, people are using meditation and yoga to help them manage diseases such as mood disorder, depression, bipolar disorder, anxiety, panic, stress, etc. Desire makes our mind restless. Innumerable desires. There is no end of human desires. But meditation will help. It will help you to have good desires and get rid of bad desires. Meditation becomes easy when we develop love. The person you love, you carry that person in your heart all the time. You do not struggle to think of that person. So if you can develop love for God, you will find meditation will become very easy. Well, how can I develop love? That needs a spiritual discipline. Holy company, read the holy books, study, meditate. Through various ways you feed the mind with holy things. Your mind will be holy. Swami Prabhupada used to give an example. Here's the ink pot. Inks are dried, full of dust, full of cobweb, and that is set on a table, you cannot take it out. How will you clean it? You take a hose with water and put it inside the ink pot. First you will find the cobweb and the dust and the ink all come out, and finally you will find fresh water was coming out. Only fresh water, because inside is clean. That is the way meditation works. Once you start, it will go inside the mind and clean all the rubbish stuff. Then when your mind is pure, you will find only spiritual thoughts and God will reveal there. That is the way it works. That is the way it works. We make a lot of effort to make our life restless. I know a person has a lot of money, has 18 credit cards. One man, 4 cars. Compulsive buyers. I have money. Just see, restless, all the time restless. No peace, no joy inside. I have money, so I must enjoy this world. What happened? Died from cancer. somebody took away his money. Ramakrishna said, God is in all men, but all men are not God. The relationship between God and humanity, the creature and the created, is eternal. It is Maya or ignorance that separates us from God. Maya has two sides, Vidya Maya or the good aspect and Avidya Maya or the bad aspect. Vidya Maya turns our mind toward God, Avidya Maya turns the mind to the sense objects. God gave us everything. Now, you decide what you want in your life. The kingdom of heaven is within you. If you want peace and bliss, go within. So I told you in brief about see God in everything, see God with open eyes. I hope my book, I finished it. It is now in the hands of the editor. Hopefully it will come out. You will see. See God with open eyes. How to do it. Thank you. Sarvata panipadam tat sarvatokshi shiromukam sarvata shruti malloki sarvam avrita tishtati. From the Bhagavad Gita. His hands and feet are everywhere. His eyes, heads and faces are everywhere. His ears are everywhere. His existence envelops all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.